Hello and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time, welcome. We're so glad to have you here in the room. Let me let you see my eyes so you can get my sincerity. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your likes, your comments, your shares, all the ways that you show me support on a regular. I am so appreciative. Today's reading is not going to be super long because, as you can see, I am outside in public. I used to record outside like all the time. Um, I mean, it's still something outside of my comfort zone, so I'm trying to do it a little bit more often. But being in such a beautiful location, I couldn't help but to take the opportunity to be present and one with Mother Nature while doing something that is so tethered to her. So, today's video is just going to be a reading on the energy of the full moon in Capricorn. That will be on Wednesday. What is that date? Let's see. On Wednesday the 13th. I am recording on Sunday the 10th. I like to record my moon readings like a couple days before the transit, just so that the energy is kind of fresh when I'm pulling cards and everything. Of course, these messages are timeless, so if you find this message a year later or whatever, like, it's fine, it's meant for you. But just for those people that are watching, closer to the actual time, I like to do that so the energy is fresh, so to speak. But without further ado, we are going to pray. I'm going to talk through some downloads that I received so far. I've been journaling. This has just been a very beautiful moment. I am just so grateful. Like, y'all don't even know. Um, but okay. Feel free to take deep breaths, call on any ancestors or guides you'd like present during this time as I pray. And without further ado, Goddess Yemaya, thank you so much for being present. Thank you for giving us the gift of the ocean, the seas, the waterways. Thank you for all of the ways that water supports us and provides healing and connection. Thank you for the opportunity to connect with each other on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Thank you for all the ways that this moon transit is helping us merge into our highest timeline of all for the greatest good of all beings on the planet at this time, with so much love in our hearts, gratitude on our lips, and clarity in our minds. We say thank you. All right, so some of the downloads, channel messages that I've been getting so far for this transit. I'm still getting a few messages that I was picking up on for the July monthly check-in. So if you haven't seen that video, like, go check it out. It's a little bit more detailed than what this video is going to be. I anticipate this video being no more than 20 minutes, so I'm not going to go into full detail, but I was picking up on this energy of like core memory making moments. So, like, at the time, there's seemingly meaningless moments, but when you look back, or like someone asks you about, like, when did you know that this person was the one, or um, where did your idea for this business venture come up, or just something that's going to be more important in the future, but right now it starts out as something small. It's like a seed. Like, I'm seeing a sapling in my mind's eye right now. So this is something that is going to be fruitful for years to come, something that is going to be meaningful in the future, but right now it just doesn't present that way. So I'm getting this energy of like needing to be mindful and grateful for small things, because big blessings can come in small packages. That's what I'm really picking up on. On the way over, I saw pillar on a tag, and I feel like that kind of solidifies that message of something being like a core memory or something super important. Um, but like in the future, it's like foundation building. I also saw this like piece of paper. It was yellow and folded up. Of course, with yellow, You think of like solar plexus, but I was picking up on like this cautious energy. So when I got to the beach, like Spirit was talking more about it, and what I heard was that it's important to someone else, but now it has the opportunity to be important to you, but it's your choice to pick it up or not. So perhaps if you're watching this, you're an empath, and you often pick up on other people's energy, other people's problems, other people's emotions. Um, and I feel like this message is just guiding you to on this journey, on this path, especially if you're on a healing journey and you're just starting out your spiritual path, your awakening or whatever. Um, be mindful of like tapping into other people's energy when you don't want to. It's definitely possible to be out in public and not pick up on all that energy. It'll certainly take time to not be able to, or it'll take time to be able to like walk in a crowd or walk in a public area and not feel the sorrow, the grief, the burdens, the animosity, the anger, the resentment, all those heavier, darker, deeper emotions. You can block those out. A few ways that you can. Oh, there's a little chicken and a hen by me right now. Let me see if I can get them on the camera. I don't think so, but um, just picking up on like this energy of needing to protect and shield yourself. Not because there's anything targeted at you, but just protecting your energy is a really good practice. So, one of the ways that you can do this is veiling. And so, veiling is the practice of covering your crown chakra so that you're not getting, those constant unwanted like downloads for other people's situation when you're in public, if that makes sense. You can also look into some crystals that are really good for protection. Of course, clear quartz, selenite. Those are going to be, your basic ones that you want to have around because they're self cleaning and clearing of, unwanted energy. But if you're finding that you're picking up on like really dark shit, I would recommend tourmaline or black onyx. I just heard. Now, I'm not that versed when it comes to crystals and like their specific meanings and associations, but those are the ones that I was just picking up on now. Feel free to do your own research and find the crystal that works with you. And if it doesn't resonate, keep it pushing. Okay. I was also picking up this energy of like releasing guilt for daddy issues. Parental healing, inner child healing seems to be big for the collective right now. At the beginning of the month, I did say that I was picking up on like mommy issues. Now, if you don't know, Cancer and Capricorn are the mother and father of the zodiacs. And so, of course, other people are going to say that they've been picking up on the same energy because, that's just the energy that's most associated with those two placements. Um, but I'm really feeling it heavy. I was also connecting with Goddess Yemaya. Feel free to look up information on her, but she is a African goddess, I believe, of waterways, specifically the ocean. So, of course, in Cancer season, which is a water sign, the element associated with Cancer is, water. It's going to be a time of healing and looking beneath the surface. Now, some people may hear that and think like, oh, that means things are going to be easy. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes healing work leaves scars. Sometimes, you have some hardships and pain to get to the gain, if you will. But overall, it's going to be worth it. Um, I've heard toward the end of my journaling, I'm just so touched right now that these animals are right by me. Like the fact that they feel so comfortable to be this close. Excuse me. So right now I am in Key West, Florida, and like chickens, the roaming chickens is like a thing here, but I haven't seen them just like frolicking so close to humans um, thus far. But anyway, the last message that I caught was your joy, pleasure, and time away from hardship is gift enough. So there's this like concept that, or this teaching that I've heard from other, spiritual beings, whatever. that every time confirmation, this teaching that every time you, go to your altar, every time you go to a place where you want to connect with spirit, you always want to bring a gift. And yes, to some extent that is true. But in this season right now, I'm getting the sense that like you don't need to go out of your way and try to find anything specific to present. Like your joy, pleasure, time away from hardship is gift enough. And like sometimes it's necessary to be poured back into. Like you don't always have to be trying to not this tit for tat energy, but just like this energy of like, oh, you did this for me and now I'll do this for you. Like you got the check last time, I'll get the check next time. Like yes, you want to make sure that your relationships are reciprocal, but don't get so caught up in the reciprocity that it becomes transactional. Okay, so I have a few decks, and like I said, I don't anticipate this reading being super long just because, yeah, I don't. But those are the messages that I was picking up on. Let's see if the cards reflect that energy. Thank you, Spirit, for this opportunity to connect with the collective and to hear the messages that you have for us. I am an open, willing vessel. I am receptive to any messages you have for us. Okay, I'm just going to pull from all of the decks at the same time and then just read the energy that way. It's 12:30 on the timestamp. So like I said, this like energy of like moving forward and these moments that are seemingly so small, but in the future they're going to have way more meaning than you anticipate. Spirit, do you have one more card for the collective, please? One more card for the collective. Oh, oh wow! I just saw my childhood house number, so I feel like that's confirmation for me that this is also a message for me for one of those downloads. I'm not gonna go into it because this is your time, not mine. I don't want to hear about my problems. Spirit, one more card for the collective, please. There we go. And finally. Oh, by the way, the decks that I'm using is I have three decks out. The Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck, the Starseed Oracle, and what is this tarot deck? The Mermaid Tarot. Ooh, I'm gonna take those. Okay. Okay. Not surprisingly, we got a lot of energy out here. I'm going to start with the Moonology cards, then mosey on over to the Starseed Oracle and finish off with the Tarot. So for Moonology, we have Full Moon and Gemini. Embrace the flow of life. We have the New Moon in Virgo. Trust all will be well. And New Moon in Libra. Know you are loved. So right off the bat, I'm picking up on like romantic energy. So maybe you are feeling like you're wanting, I'm seeing the Lover's card in my mind's eye, like you're wanting that new partner to come in, or you want to take your relationship to the next level. But Spirit is telling you right now that all is well, and that you're on the right path. Remember, I saw 1, 2, 3 like on the timestamp as I was shuffling. You're also being guided to just have faith and trust that all will be well. Like, like I said, there's this sense of just this healing energy being present, but it's not necessarily going to be breezy. So if you are, especially during times of like full moons, emotions are expected to be heightened. So if you're experiencing that, like you're crying a lot or you just feel somewhat emotional out of nowhere, like just let those emotions come to the surface, because if it's coming to the surface, that means it has the opportunity to be transmuted, to be alchemized for, I don't want to say a greater good, but for lack of a better term, for a greater good. Like it hurts, but it's going to be meaningful. And I'm really trying to steer clear of like your pain has a purpose, that kind of message, because I find that rhetoric to be very toxic in some situations, but that's the feeling that I'm getting here. Now, moving on to the Starseed Oracle cards. Baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. So things may not make sense to you right now, and they definitely don't make sense to other people, but you're not being guided to make your path make sense to other people. Like, your job on this planet, your purpose on this planet is to follow your own path, to follow your own light, to follow your own true north, and not really worry about what other people around you are thinking. Like, you living in your purpose inspires and uplifts the vibration of everyone on this planet. So, just for like a tangible example, I do suffer with social anxiety sometimes, and I could, in this moment, be like, I'm worried about what other people are thinking about me. Is anyone watching, or is anyone listening to me, or whatever the case may be? But I know that my purpose is to be a messenger of the divine, of spirit. And I felt called to come to the beach. So I'm going to put that aside for the moment and allow that flow, that energy, that prana to just flow through me, um, so that y'all can get the messages, so that y'all can receive the benefit, the blessing. And even these messages are for me. So it's not like a um, self-sacrificing or martyr sort of situation. It's just allowing whatever needs to happen to happen. Cracked open. That's the next part I'm drawn to. Rock bottom. Surrender to the alchemy of life. And that's funny because I just said, like, it may not feel easy, and it doesn't feel like slow and soothing and relaxing and pleasurable, but it's going to serve a purpose. So use this time to tap into whatever is coming to the surface and allow it to work its magic on you. But also at the same time, step into your true power and realize that you have the power to use whatever you want to get whatever you want. So you can use the hardship, you can use the pain, you can use the rejection, you can use all of that to propel you into a better trajectory if that's what you truly want. Like, yeah, you also have the power to choose to be defeated and to stay into victim mode. And I get it that everyone has different capacity. So if that's not your capacity at this moment, just allow yourself to be cracked open, and don't try to look for the lesson in this moment, but realize that you can't stay stuck in that stagnant, complacent energy. At some point, if you want to be victorious, if you want to have success, um, if you want to be happy, you have to let the pain go at some point. You can't just stay stuck there forever, and everyone's process is going to be different, so don't try to push yourself out of that, if that makes sense. The next card, I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Oh, I love that. I've never drawn this card out of this whole deck, and I just feel like this speaks to that energy of like, some schools of thought say that we picked our path, that we picked our pain, that we picked the everything that comes with this lifetime. And so when you come to earth, you like, the purpose of you living life is to remember like why you chose to carnate in the first time. And so I feel like during this time, like I said, there's a lot of like healing that's taking place in this like watery sign of Cancer. And I feel like in this card, she's like looking into a pond. This is like self reflection, but this could also be the cosmos. It depends on your perspective, right? Um, Next card, water your garden. What does the bottom say? Nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. So this could be you taking spiritual baths, or just like I said, like this may not be the easiest, most peaceful time, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be. Now, I know that that probably didn't make sense, but what I mean by that is like this doesn't have to be a time of complete hardship or of complete lack of joy or complete lack of pleasure. Like you can be going through a hard time and at the same time take care of yourself and at the same time find joy and at the same time do what you need to do so that you're not stuck in that stagnant energy. There's this huge sense of needing to. The hinge is kind of nested by me. She like picked some sand, kicked it with her feet. Like I think she's looking for food right now, but it also looks like she wants to like lay down. But um, water your garden, body here, tenderness, rest. I feel like every time a rooster crows, like that's a confirmation for what I'm saying. Like it's you allowing yourself to experience pleasure through the pain, experience joy through the pain, experience the beauty of life, not getting bogged down by the vicissitudes of life, if you will. Now, one of these cards did say that this is a time for action. Which one of these cards said that? Yeah, baby steps. Take action before it makes sense. Like follow your intuition before it makes sense. So like yes, this is a healing time and you're being guided to like go within and like look within and have that self-reflection, but at the same time, um, it's not a passive experience. Like you have to choose and then follow up with action. So like you just thinking a thought or you just saying this is what you want, like that's not enough. Like you need to put some elbow grease in it, if you will. The next part says you're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. So you may be wanting to go into hermit mode because you're trying to grapple with this like very changing energy, especially if you're not a water sign and you're not used to going deeper or going within, doing a lot of like soul work. If you're not used to that, you may want to withdraw, you know, and sometimes that is fine, but like I said, this is an active time. I'm picking up on a lot of like masculine energy, which is not surprising because Capricorn is a masculine sign. Um, but realize that even though you may be feeling like you're alone, you may be feeling in isolation, you may be feeling the need to withdraw, you don't have to. Like you can do this with someone else. You can do this part of your healing journey with another human. Um, and I'm getting the need for, okay, one of the other cards mentioned body care. If you don't have a partner or someone around who can massage you, like go book a massage. And I'm getting that that physical touch with another human is going to be healing. Um, Also, just this need to pamper yourself, and you know the trend right now is like living a soft life. So that soft life kind of energy of like going to the spa and drinking champagne and getting your hair done and getting your nails done, going to the salon, like having that like relaxation in your life. Now let's look at the tarot that we have. We got three cards out, Eight of Swords in reverse, releasing yourself from those illusions, like not placating yourself and just like looking at the surface, like looking beneath. I feel like this speaks to that energy I was picking up on like if you're not a water sign and you're not really used to looking at your emotions from that deeper perspective, like this is the sleeping mask. I'm seeing a sleeping mask right now being ripped off of someone's eye. So Um, right now, Neptune is in retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which means that it's exalted because it's in its home sign, right? But you're just really being asked to go with the flow at this time. Like, don't try to swim against the current. Like, just let the current take you wherever it's supposed to be. And these two cards that came out together just really make me happy because I feel like it's just further confirmation of everything I've said thus far. We have King of Cups and Six of Wands. So King of Cups, that's that masculine energy I was picking up on, this like sense of needing to go within and it being like an active time of healing, like you having to put in some work. But what the King of Cups speaks to overall is like this emotional intelligence. Like at the end of whatever this is, at the end of this transit or whenever this energy passes specifically for you, you will come out victorious, Six of Wands. And by victorious, what I mean is like you'll have more emotional intelligence than you used to have or than those around you. Um, I'm being drawn back to this Eight of Swords. This could be like eight people around you. Um, who you feel like their energy is like draining, and there's this sense of like you needing to cut them off. Like the Eight of Swords is all about you having power, but you ignoring your power and you like tapping into this like victim mindset of like, oh, like woe is me, like they did this, they said this, they blah 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 blah. But like you not realizing that you have the power to change your story. You don't have to be around those people. And I know for some people they may say like, oh well, this is an ex that I have a kid with, so I have to co-parent, or this is one of my parents, like I have to deal with them. But you can find boundaries, which is another theme of the Eight of Swords. It's you can find boundaries, you can find ways to connect with those people that doesn't completely tap you out, that doesn't completely drain you. And if you're struggling with that, that just means you need to do some more exploration of like how to tap into that energy. But I'm not feeling the need to pull any more cards. This was a lot of energy to come out. You know where to find me if you need me. The sale is going on still until the 14th. So if you need any smoke cleansing bundles or just any ritual items, hit up the shop. I'll link everything below. Um, but yeah, if you want to connect with me outside of YouTube, I am on Instagram and Twitter under the same handle. If you see an account that has like extra underscores or just funky things in the handle, I only have one account on every social media platform that I'm on. It's Soulful Soothe, all one word, no spaces, no funky letters, no funky characters. I also don't reach out to people asking if they want a reading. So if someone does that under that name, it's a scam. Please don't give these people your money. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Because you already know I done told you. All right. I love you so much. You know where to find me. Until next time.